We go to the recycling center on Pendel. They have the glass recycling, and it's gotten to the point to where I know which ones to leave behind and which ones to keep, just because some of them just break. They fracture too easily. So it's like the more you do it, the more you kind of get the hang of it, which is why I kind of wanted to lead a workshop so we can teach the community how to do it. Yeah. And so when I go to the recycling center, I go through the bins, and you can drop it off by color. So they do greens, browns, blues. So when I'm doing it, I'm looking for durability. Is it going to cut well? And also, is the bottle cool? You know? So I just kind of pick through them like I'm a hobo. And so, right. So every time I go, it's like a treasure hunt. My name is Candace Prince. I am the founder and president of Green Hope Project. What we do is we're a local nonprofit, and we focus on art, education, and environmentalism. My art club kids were sitting around talking about how disappointed they were with the pollution off of Montana. The Chihuahuan Desert was becoming polluted with a lot of the new development. You know, these kids, just in casual conversation, ended up discussing advocacy work without even realizing what they were doing. Fast forward several months later, I'm at Barnes & Noble, and I see a brochure advertising a contest for educators. I remembered this conversation with the kids, and so what I did is I pitched it. We adopt a highway. We take the trash that we gather, rather than putting it back in the landfill, we turn it into art pieces or clean it up and have it be a place where artists can come and get free, organized, clean materials. And then we thought, well, why stop there at the cleanups? Why don't we teach the community how to do it? The cleanup is part one, the workshops is part two, and they were like, well, gosh, if they're gonna make all these amazing pieces, what happens to them? Who sees them? So the third and final component was the art exhibition. And so it just kind of builds upon itself. And 9 months later, I got an email saying, congratulations, you're the sole winner in the nation. The grand prize is Chelsea Clinton is coming to your school for a kickoff event in 2 weeks. And I was like, I guess I should have paid attention to what the prize was. I had my little army of kids that were just wanting to save the world. And as they graduated, they kept wanting to come back to school. That's when we realized that there was a demand for this in the community. And so we thought, well, this needs to just become more than a club. And so Green Hope Project was born, and some of the board members ended up being graduates and educators. The overwhelming amount of people that want to volunteer, they go to our website, they sign up. They help us at the markets, they help us at the cleanups. I think people walk away feeling like empowered, and they walk away feeling like, oh my gosh, it's that easy to make a change. Yes, it's that easy. You pick up that first piece of trash, and yeah, sure, it's the tip of the iceberg, but we're going back to the fact that it's not the amount of stuff you've picked up today, it's the change of mind, and it's the awareness that is making the difference. Whether it's where your money goes, what kind of corporations you're supporting, or really just saying, maybe I can't save the world, but I can really make a difference in my community. I can go in my backyard, and then that spreads, and that spreads, and that spreads, and it's much more impactful than people realize. What's really on the forefront of our plate right now is Bordalo II. He's a muralist from Lisbon, Portugal. And so he has been for several years doing these giant trash murals. Back when I had my high school art babies, they were like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. And I said, well, reach out to him and ask him if he'll come do a mural here. And they were like, oh, you can get all the famous people? And I'm like, yes, they're people, they exist, they have email addresses and everything, you know? And so they emailed him. He responded and said, yeah. So that was 5 years ago. And it was in the works, and we had a lot of people come to the table to support it, and then COVID hit. And some of our financial backers pulled out, the city shut down, he stopped traveling. So we went dormant for this project for about 2.5 years until the beginning of this year. Reached out to him again, and I thought, surely he's moved on. He's not doing this anymore. And he said, yes, I will come back. We do have a building owner downtown. It'll be right across from the coffee box off of Mesa. Front view of the plaza. It's going to be a prime spot. And I've been working with local biologists and the Texas Parks and Wildlife Rangers to narrow down the animal of choice. So we've narrowed it down to the mountain lion, and it'll be incredibly beautiful. You know, there's a lot of animals that need help directly in our region, but I think this will open up the door to talk about those as well. So it's just the beginning. here we go back to, we will educate you and then you can take action. And so, there's plenty of opportunities to help some of our local biologists who are trying to restore habitat. So it's not hopeless. This is the moment. The artist refuses to have people make something so he can use it. So we're pulling these from the Environmental Services Department, the landfill. So the recycling center is partnering with us to pull these items, and they're storing it, and we will haul them in by the truckloads, close off Mesa, and he'll just go to town. It's going to be long lasting, and I think it'll get to a point to where it becomes like an icon for the city. Like, it's going to be such a tourist attraction, and so that's going to help to raise awareness. But if anybody's interested in partnering with us or learning more about this project, we'll continue to do annual things that are related to it even after the development of it is over, including the environmental summits and stuff like that. And we'll host art exhibitions at the plaza, open air, right outside from that. What better vehicle than art to bring information about making the world a better place? And so I hope that we create future leaders that change the world.